The information provided by Trading Forex Price Action to you does not constitute personal financial advice. The information provided is of a general nature only and does not take into account your individual objectives, financial situation, or needs. It should not be used, relied upon, or treated as a substitute for specific professional advice.
Weekly Forecast.
Hey guys, this is a weekly forecast for June 14th through the 18th of 2021. Alright, we'll start off with the Euro-USD pair. This is a monthly chart. We'll start off with an overview. So since this price action right here is very strong short, and this move right here is still having a ways to go, in the long term, I am short bias, right back down to this pivot low as a target. However, because of a breakout of this trend line from this pivot to this pivot right here, and that breakout being right here, in the medium term, I am long biased, right back up to this pivot high right here. However, on the weekly chart, since there is more strength short than long, in the short term, I am short biased, right back down to this pivot low right here. Okay, let's talk entries. Okay, this is a weekly chart. Let me run you by the setup I've been looking at for the past couple of months. So there was a strong short trade right here. Then a week-long trade formed. So as price pulled back, I was looking for short entries right back down to this pivot low as a target. And then the same thing repeated, so a week-long trade formed again. So as price pulled back, I was looking for short trades again right down to this new pivot low as a target. And again, the same thing happened. Another week-long trade formed. So as price pulled back, I was looking for short trades right back down to this pivot low right here. And so if you recall, 3 weeks ago, I took a short entry right at this 1.2250 level with the stop loss right up here at this pivot high and its main target being right down here. So let me explain why I took that short entry. So let's go over to the daily chart. Okay, so on this daily chart, the last short trade that formed was right here with the stop loss being right at this pivot high. And if you recall, I was mentioning that this daily short trade already hit its target right here. And when a trade's target is hit, price typically pulls right back up to stop out the traders that are still in that short trade at this stop loss level right here. And so I was mentioning there would be a medium strength pullback at least to these levels right here. Now, although price may pull back to these levels right here to stop out the short traders that took this daily short trade, I was also mentioning that this last weekly short trade up here with the stop loss at this pivot high, this weekly short trade's target has not been hit at this level. And thus that is why I was short bias in the short term right back down to this pivot low as a target. Alright, so let me further explain this to you on the weekly chart. So let's go back there. Alright, so again on this weekly chart, the last weekly short trade that formed was right here. And its stop loss is right up here at this pivot high. Now, since my short-term bias is down, at least down to this pivot low target right here before price reaches this stop loss level up here, 3 weeks ago when price pulled all the way back to these levels right here, since my stop loss for this short entry is right up here at this pivot high, I was able to take a short trade with minimal risk at this 1.2250 level. Alright, so that's the basic reasoning behind why I took that short trade. Now let me go ahead and explain to you how I've been managing that short trade for the past couple of weeks. So let's go over to the daily chart. Okay, so on this daily chart, I took that short entry 3 weeks ago at this 1.2250 level with the stop loss roughly at 1.2350 up here and its main target being right down here. Now upon entry, price fell right down here, and if you recall my previous forecast, there was a fake compact long price action that formed right here. And that compact long price action on the lower time frames, which shows strong strength long, uses daily trend line from this pivot to this pivot right here as its higher time frame price element. Now, although this compact long price action was a fake, if you recall, I was also mentioning it was very close to being legitimate. Thus, in order for me to add another short position to this trade, I needed price to stop out the stop loss level of that compact price action just to confirm that this compact long price action was in fact a fake. Now, roughly 3 days later, price did come back and stop out that level. However, price did not give me enough of a pullback to entice me to add another short position. And then as price came back down right here, price formed a fake 1 minute double bottom right here, which implies short-term short strength. However, the NFP was released right after the formation, and price wildly ignored that short-term price action setup and came up here. However, although price did pull back to these levels up here, I was also mentioning there was no compact long price action showing any strong long strength on the lower time frames. Thus, the status of this short trade was healthy. Then this week in this area right here, on the midweek analysis, I was mentioning there was still no signs of strong long price on the short term. Thus, for the time being, that short trade was still healthy. And now yesterday, price came right back down as expected to stop out that fake double bottom that formed the previous Friday. Right at this level right here. Alright, furthermore, there's some price action themes I do want to discuss that happened right here in this area. So let's go over to the 1 hour chart. Alright, so on this 1 hour chart, the price action for this week is roughly in this area right here. Now, in terms of short-term price action, if you recall, I was mentioning the level I was looking for to see if any long compact price action forms was at the 1.2159 level, which is roughly in this level right here. Now, there's two things I want to mention. Now, number one is that compact long price action, which indicates strong long strength, often forms on higher time frames key levels. And that monthly trend line was obviously a key level I was looking for. So the areas of lower time price action I was looking at were mainly these levels right here where price reached that 1.2159 level. Now, just by looking at this 1 hour chart, you can see that price was reacting on that trend line. Now, at these levels, I was looking at the lower time frames to see if there was any compact long price action that forms at this 1.2159 level. So when you're looking for this type of lower compact price action, it is helpful in terms of time management to more or less focus on the higher time frames key levels, like that monthly trend line I was talking about. Okay, and one other thing I do want to mention about this price action is that if a trader has a short position like I do on this trade, this type of 1 hour price action can often lead to aborting the trades prematurely. Now, this could be because of these strong momentum moves right here, and even this volatility right here can persuade a trader to get out of a trade early. Now, the way I get over this conundrum is to always focus on how price moves in terms of future strength. So what I mean is that this is a graphical representation of momentum. The same is true about this long candle right here, represents strong momentum. And on the other hand, this area right here where the wicks are very high in both directions represents high volatility. However, there are ways in which price moves, in particular compact price action, that shows future strength and not momentum nor volatility. So focusing on the visual representation of future strength rather than volatility and momentum, in my opinion, can eliminate the problem of aborting trades prematurely due to visual representations of opposing momentum, like in these cases right here, or even volatility. Okay, so again, you want to focus on the way price moves in terms of future strength. Alright, so at this point, that short trade still seems healthy. So let me go ahead and show you some levels I'm looking out for in the future. Let's go over to the monthly chart. Alright, so on this monthly chart, the next level I'm keeping an eye on in terms of this short trade's health is this gap level right here and right here. Now let me go ahead and show you where these gap levels came from. So let's go ahead and zoom in and go all the way back. Alright, so this is the gap level I was looking at right here. Now this gap is a culmination of two gaps. So one is up here from this gap right here to this one right here. And the other one is right here to right here. So basically this gap is using the top end of this upper gap level right here and the bottom end of this earlier gap right here. Alright, so let's go back to current price. Alright, so in terms of the health of this short trade, the next level I'm looking at is this gap level right here. Now I'm always looking for any compact long price action that forms on the lower time frames, and particularly at this level right here at this gap. But at the same time, compact price action can form at any random price level, so I'll be constantly watching the lower time frames price until basically our target is reached. Alright, if you're having trouble understanding what I'm talking about in terms of strong short trades and gaps and whatnot, please watch my Forex Price Action Trading course. For that course is designed to provide the information necessary to comprehend these forecasts and analysis. Okay, let's go on to the Aussie-NZD pair. Okay, this is a monthly chart. We'll start off with an overview. Alright, so we had a normal double bottom right here against a weak downward trend line from this pivot to this pivot right here. So in the long term, I was long bias right up to this trend line level right here, and possibly the second target of this pivot high right here. And that first target on the trend line was hit. However, there's a possibility that the last weekly long trade that formed at this level right here already hit its target. And since when trades targets are hit, price normally pulls right back down to stop out the traders that are still long in that long trade, with the stop loss being right here. In the short term, I am short biased right back down to this pivot low right here. Okay, let's talk entries. Alright, this is a daily chart. Let me run you by what's been happening on this pair for the last couple of months. So last weekly long trade that formed was right here, and that stop loss level being at this pivot low right here. After that weekly long trade form, price went up to hit its first target at that monthly trend line level right here. And in this area, price also tried to get through that trend line right up to our second long-term target, but failed and came right back down. Now at this point, a daily long trade formed right here, with the stop loss being right at this pivot low right here, which was very strong. However, price failed to get up right up to our second long-term target and came right back down. Now at this point, if you recall, I was mentioning if price even touches this daily long stop loss level right here, there's a high possibility that price will break down first to this price level right here, then possibly right back down to these levels down here. Now the reason why I expected price to fall back down to these levels is because this last daily long trade, seeing how it's very strong long, still failed, and price came right back down to stop out this trade stop loss level right here. Tells me that the weekly long trade that formed in this area already hit its target at this level. And when higher time frames targets are hit, even if on the lower time frames there are strong long trades, they typically get overridden by the higher time frame and eventually fall right back down to stop out the traders that took that weekly long trade right here at its stop loss level right here. So at this point, seeing that price did not reach its main target right down here at this pivot low, if price gives me a big enough pullback to take a short entry with the stop loss at this pivot high right here, I'm willing to take a short trade right back down to that short-term target down here with the stop loss right up here. Now let me dig into the entry setup a little bit deeper. So when price still has a ways to go to its main target, which is right down here at this pivot low, but still decides to make a pullback of this magnitude, there's one of two things that could have happened. So price can make lower time long compact price action that overrides this short-term short bias, or price could be coming right back just to stop out the last daily short trade, and that daily short trade being right here with the stop loss being at this pivot high right here. Now at this point, this compact long price action has not formed, so I'm assuming price will reach at least this pivot high right here. But for the time being, since my stop loss is at this pivot high right here, I'm only willing to take a short entry if price at least gives me a pullback to this 1.0845 level, just in terms of risk and reward. So for the time being, I'm just seeing if I could get that pullback for that short entry with the stop loss at this pivot high right here and its main target right back down here. Simultaneously, I'm always looking for long compact price action, which indicates strong long strength, in which case I will not take this short trade altogether. Alright, so that's it for the weekly forecast. I hope you guys have a great week, and thanks for watching. Okay, bye.